Hey, Woolies! Welcome back to the Woolie News podcast series. I'm Amira here with my co-host
Scarlett.
and today we have a special guest joining us, someone whose storytelling has taken over social media in the best way possible.
That's right. You might have seen his viral videos on Instagram or TikTok or heard his voice on WBZ News Radio. Please welcome Matt Shearer.
Hey!
I'll give myself a round of applause as I walk in.
So thanks for being here. So earlier today, you spoke with our ninth graders about their human impact on the environment project and how they can make an impact on their local communities. But we also wanted to take some time to talk about your journey into journalism and what advice you have for students who might be interested in this field or just aren't sure what they want to do yet.
Oh, okay. Great. Shall I get right into my story?
Yes.
All right. So I was in high school, actually, when I decided what I wanted to do with my life. I figured it out at 14. Most people don't. I want to be clear about that. Most people don't figure out what they want to do until maybe they're like early 20s or something, right? When they go off to college or graduate. But I was lucky enough at Acton-Boxborough Regional High School, where I went to school, that we had a little radio station there with a setup not unlike this one that you have, where kids can get on the microphone and host a radio show, play their favorite music, talk. And I just found that I loved doing that. And I was like, I think this is what I want to do with my life. And I've been laser focused on it ever since. And here I am in my 30s now, and I'm still doing it.
Yeah,
and
perfect.
that's amazing. So I'm really lucky to have found that so early. And I'm really lucky to also have been able to do it entirely in the radio market that I grew up in. I grew up here in the Boston area, and I've only ever worked in the Boston area. A lot of people, when they go into this line of work, whether it be journalism or media in some way, they go off to work in maybe a smaller market and work their way up to the bigger cities.
Yeah.
I've been able to spend my whole career in the city where I grew up in, which happens to be one of the top 10 biggest cities in the country. So I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, that's surprising you found that so early.
Yeah, I know. And I always have to remind young people, like, it's okay. If you don't know what you want to do yet, you have plenty of time to figure it out. But if you do know what you want to do, commit to it now and go for it. I mean, it's not a bad thing to have a head start over the competition, if you will. And by competition, I mean your peers and the other people who are going to be applying for jobs someday too.
Yeah. But if you also don't know what you're doing, it's okay not to know and just figure it out. Yeah.
Exactly. And the only way to figure that stuff out is to try it too. Like, I would have never known that I wanted to do radio if I hadn't actually gotten behind a microphone, So before that, I wanted to be like an architect. I was really into skateboarding. I was like, oh, I want to be a professional skateboarder. I want to build skate ramps for a living. Like, that's what I want to do. But then I discovered this and quite literally found my voice.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So you've covered so many different stories. Do you have any favorite segments or stories that really stick with you or interest you?
Oh man, that's a great question. Yes. So I'm kind of known for my more offbeat kind of funny stories, but the one that I think I'm the most proud of came a little over a year ago when I met this woman on the streets of Boston who was singing. I heard her voice. I happened to have my microphone with me, so I was like, I'm going to interview her. Come to find out, she was homeless, and she had written a song, but she had no means to record it. And she was like, my dream is to get into a studio and record this song. And I'm thinking to myself as she's saying this, well, like, I know people with recording studios. I could make this dream come true for her. So the next day I found her on the streets again, and I got her in my car, and I said, I'm taking you to a recording studio, and we're going to go lay down your original song. And she immediately burst into tears. She was like, I can't believe it's happening.
That's
and
amazing.
we got her in. We recorded the song all for free. We put it out online for free. And we put it on Bandcamp, which is a platform where people can pay whatever they want for the song to download it. So people were buying the song for anywhere from 99 cents to like $500. And she ended up earning and I'm not saying we gave her this money. She earned it from her song, like $10,000, like in a matter of like
That's
2 months.
amazing.
Yeah. So I'm really, really proud of how that whole thing played out.
Yeah, that's great. And for the students that are interested in journalism and media content, how do they really go off of that? And how's that something they can put into themselves and their skill building and stuff like that?
Absolutely. Well, one thing that newsrooms are really looking for right now is people with some sort of social media experience or social media skills. So, and the amazing thing that you have right now that I didn't have when I was in high school was all the tools you need to be able to start making stuff in your pocket. You know, you can literally open this up and make a really great, compelling video or start a podcast. You know, it's better if you have this nice equipment, which you do.
Yeah,
You have access to it.
definitely.
That's awesome. But you don't need it. You have, right? The point is you have everything you need on your phone. So the earlier you can get started practicing like creating stories with your phone, be it, you know, little videos or audio pieces, the better chance you'll have when you go to apply for jobs, because you'll have this whole portfolio that you can show them. And I find that when you hire people in this line of work, the hiring managers are much more interested in what can you do than what like your degree says, right? So it doesn't matter if you went to this really expensive school or this, you know, community college. It's like what matters the most is what can you do? What are your skills? And if you have those skills and the ability to start practicing and honing your craft right now at a young age, then you should do it, because that'll give you a big leg up.
Yeah. So you're showing us right now that when you were in high school, none of this was given to you. So
That's
we
right.
can tell that journalism has changed a ton over the years.
Oh, yeah.
And it's no longer just writing for newspaper or reporting from a news desk.
Right.
You're out in the field talking to people, creating engaging content for social media.
Mm-hmm.
So what should someone expect if they want to get into this field today?
Oh, yeah. Well, you should, again, very, you know, expect that social media is going to play a huge role, because I think the stat that I most recently heard was somewhere around 41% of people now primarily get their news from social media. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, there are a lot of people in traditional media, be it radio, television, or newspapers, who are scared of that idea. The fact that, oh my gosh, they're not coming to us for their news. They're going straight to social media. My take on that is, don't be scared of it. Embrace it. Like, if that's where people are going for their news, let's be there. You know, what the people need is good, credible, well fact-checked news on those platforms, because that's where they're getting it from. Don't leave it up to people who are not fact-checking their stories and are not working in credible environments like that. So you can expect a big shift in technology and the way people engage with it. I would say traditional media still is extremely powerful. Like, you know, radio is still the number one thing people listen to in their cars. You know, obviously the numbers are kind of shifting a lot. And so you just have to be able to shift with it. Understand that podcasting is absolutely massive. And so if you're going to be on the radio, also be podcasting. Understand that TikTok and Instagram reels are huge. So if you're going to be on TV, put some of those packages on the social media as well. Just be in as many places as you possibly can. So
Yeah, like try to go with the trend.
yeah, totally. Be on the cutting edge.
That's right.
Yeah.
So a little about us, we're students in the video production class. So where we create like weekly news segments and social media content.
Awesome.
A lot of people don't realize how much work goes into it.
Yes.
So planning and recording and like even editing all adds up.
Oh, yeah.
So for you, even a short segment can take hours to perfect. How long does it take you just for one video?
Oh, that's a great question. It can take anywhere from like, I don't know, a full work day, so like 8 hours, to like several work days, you know, and it depends on how much audio and video I've recorded and then have to go through. Like, that's the thing. Like, you could be at a location for like 5 hours, and then you'll have to go back and listen to 5 hours worth of audio and go through 5 hours worth of video and find the pieces that you like. Over time, there are ways to improve your workflow so that you can be more efficient with that. But yeah, I mean, it absolutely varies. Generally speaking, my workflow is kind of like, I'll be on location one day. The next day, I'll go through everything and start sorting it. And then the day after that, I'll kind of put the finishing touches and release it. So, you know, on a good cycle, I'll be able to bang out a story in like 2 or 3 days.
That's impressive, because even us as a whole class, we take like a whole 2 days to be able to like make one segment.
Long time.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
it does take a long time. And there are times where I need to bang them out quicker than that. Like, if I'm covering a real topical story, like, oh, here's something that's just happening, a breaking story, I need to get it done that day. So I'll need to be able to turn it around in a matter of hours. The only reason I take so much more time with that is because a lot of the stories I cover are evergreen, meaning they're not going to be old in a few days. I can put them out whenever. The newsroom is really great about giving me the time that I need to be able to put the stories out, because they've seen proof in the success that I've had on social media.
Right.
So I earned that right to take my time.
Yeah, that kind of reminds us when we had 2 classes to make a whole video for our class, and it was really hard to do in those 2 days. We
Yeah.
struggled a lot with it. So you just doing it by yourself, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's like I mean, it's a valuable skill to have to be able to turn stuff around fast because let's be honest, that's how the news works. You
Yeah.
know, like most reporters, as a reporter, here's sort of like your day. Like you'll start out checking in with your editor, find out what they need coverage on, and then you'll go out to that town and you'll cover the story. You may do some live hits, meaning you'll be live on TV or live on the radio. And then you'll publish a little package, and that package will run throughout the day, either on the radio or the TV. Or if you're a newspaper reporter, you got to write it and get it done as quickly as you can that day. At our newsroom, we have most reporters. I'm a different case because I'm doing a lot of social media stuff, but most of our reporters cover 2 stories in a day. So they'll be out, the first 4 hours of their day will be on one story, and the next 4 hours of their day will be on another.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
insane.
It moves quick.
So let's flip the script here since
Sure.
let's have some fun here since we're talking about stress and all this.
Yes, I'm all
Let's
about
flip
fun.
it. Yeah. So do you ever get to meet anyone famous in
Oh,
your
yeah.
job?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've met so many famous like Boston athletes. You know, like I've met Gronk a few times. We're on a first name basis. Actually, I don't know if that's true, but he's definitely recognized me. And all the some Celtics players, Bruins, Patriots. I'm trying to think of like the bigger celebrities. Selena Gomez I've met,
Oh,
and Zach Bryan follows me on social media now. We're like
Wow.
I don't know if that means like we're buddies at all, but we're mutuals, and so there's that. Who else have I met that's famous and cool? I don't know if you know the show Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but I was really psyched to meet Charlie Day, the actor. If you know him, he's been in a lot of stuff
Yeah.
now. That was really cool. I met Lizzo. I've met
Wow.
Lizzo.
yeah, Flo Rida and Charlie Puth and who else is really famous? Sean. No, I've met 3 different members of One Direction. Sorry.
Wow.
I know. I'm going back. A lot of these are going back to my last job. I used to work at a top 40 radio station, the old 103.3 amp radio, if you remember that station back in the day when you were kids. I used to work there, and so we had like celebrities and famous singers and stuff coming in and out all the time. And it's cool to see how some of them have blown up to be like superstars. Like we hosted a concert with Ariana Grande when she had 1 song out.
Wow.
And now she's starring in Wicked. You know, it's
she's
like
amazing.
not that she's been famous for a while because of
Yeah.
like Nickelodeon and all that, but she absolutely blew up after all that. Not so, it's our fault. Yeah, we're she has us
Yeah.
to thank because we put her on stage. No, it's not like
That's
that.
funny.
But yeah, a bunch.
Yeah, well, it's crazy that you think those people are famous. We thought you were famous when Mr. Cunha
Yeah.
told us about you.
Oh, I
we
know.
were like, what?
Now
No,
that
we're
I'm-
nervous.
Now that I'm name dropping all these other people, you're probably
Yeah.
like, oh, well, that's not that cool. But the point is, like, you'll have an opportunity someday to get out there and meet these big, powerful people. But I really like meeting, like, just the regular, everyday people that you meet on the street. Like, I find that they have really, really interesting stories that just aren't being told, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Like we go around for different segments in our school and we go up to just interviewing people.
Yeah.
Like, what did we do yesterday?
We did, if you could be a celebrity
Okay.
for one day, who would it be and what would you do for that one day?
Ooh, who did each of you pick? Did you have one?
So no, we didn't actually
just
get
asked other
one.
people?
Yeah.
Okay.
But definitely
That's
I'll
good.
say like Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I agreed on a Kardashian with all
Yeah.
their money and
Yeah.
I
wealth.
know. Yeah, you can literally just sit there for a day and earn millions of dollars.
Yeah.
You don't
Do
have to do
literally whatever you want.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great choice.
That's right. So a little about you.
Okay.
So if you could go back and give advice to your younger self, what would you say?
I would say something like I said earlier to you, which is just to remember to constantly be on the cutting edge. Think about what's the next thing. When I started doing this stuff on TikTok, and I'm very proud of the fact that we won this big national award, the Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Innovation, because what we were doing on social media was so innovative at the time. Now other newsrooms have started to kind of catch up. But I'm always trying to stay one step ahead of those other newsrooms and think like, what's the next thing? So if I could have always been thinking what's, to stay one step ahead of everyone else from a younger age, I think that would be even better. And I'd probably be even further in my career, but who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's great advice, Matt. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today.
Of course. Thanks for having me. This
We
was fun.
hope this is just the beginning of an ongoing series where we bring in guests to talk about career opportunities and how to figure out what's next after MHS.
Yeah. Well, you two did an amazing job interviewing me. And seriously, I talked to a lot of young people who want to get into this line of work, and you both have a good natural ability to have a conversation.
Thank
like
you
this.
so
Yeah,
much. We
thank
were a little
you.
nervous, but
Yeah,
You-
definitely our first
Yeah.
time ever doing this.
No need. No need. You can shake those nerves off because
Yeah.
you got it.
Yeah, and if you haven't already, go to check out Matt's content on WBC News Radio, TikTok, and Instagram. You won't regret it. Thanks again, Matt.
Thank you.
all right, Woolies, that's a wrap. We'll catch you next time on Woolie News.